We're recording. Trevor, are you live? Are you ready?
I'm good to go.
Hi, everybody. This is Ed with WallyBITES, and I'm here with my business partner, Trevor.
Hi, everyone.
And we have a really special guest. As we kind of launch our series of videos talking with influencers around the lake, we have Debbie Friese with us tonight. Debbie's with Weichert Realtors, Paul Pack Group. Debbie, did I get that right?
You did beautiful.
All right, wonderful. So, the objective here is just to really speak with some people that have business or do business around the lake. Maybe they've grown up around the lake, maybe they're relatively new to the lake, but just to give people a different perspective of what people do and maybe some interesting tidbits that these influential people around the lake can share with our audience. So I'm going to start, Debbie, by just asking you a really simple question. Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up around Lake Wallenpaupack.
Basically, my family started back in the 40s. They
Wow.
actually found Ledgedale. They originally came from, I'm going to say the city, and they were iron workers, decided that they wanted to do a type of lifestyle for their children to come away and relax during the summer months. They landed down in Ledgedale. And from that point, they saw how wonderful the lifestyle with nature. Fishing was a big thing back then because there was no internet, there was no TV. You're lucky if you had crayons to color on. That's the way my grandparents and my mother was explaining it. Then fast forwarding, it became more of being able to have the lifestyle and living and working and enjoying all four seasons. So that kind of evolved into business and relaxation.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's a great answer. I think, to add a little bit, I just saw something on Facebook earlier today about, somebody asking like, do I want a beach house or do I want a lake house? And I mean, I think it's for me personally, it's an easy decision because of the four seasons that you just mentioned. I mean, getting full use out of the lake house, spring, summer, fall, winter. I mean, there's just so much to do around the lake.
We're so blessed, definitely blessed with our lifestyle the way it is now. When
Yeah.
we think about, at least 60, 70 years ago, you didn't have that chance to enjoy because everything would close down around Labor Day and then we wouldn't see you
Yeah.
until, hi, it's Easter, maybe.
And I mean, we've personally, we've been very fortunate to have a relationship with you. You've shared some pictures with us, some historical older family pictures. And I know you know so much about the lake. So again, just thanks for taking some time with us. But what, if you can just explain to the audience a little bit, what do you do around the lake for a job? What's your profession?
I'm a real estate broker. Started off basically in the service industry, and whether it was doing some type of manual or physical with numbers and moving things back and forth. And then it kind of evolved into office work. And then from office work, it evolved into with the building industry and then welcoming in with the new construction. And then it just evolved into the resale. Now with my broker's license, it's also evolved into more like a counseling type capacity. I'm kind of coming full circle.
Yeah. I mean, so your career trajectory, I mean, you've always then kind of worked in this profession, moving up within that profession and servicing the lake community. You didn't go off at one point and work in Arizona or somewhere else?
Well, I did go into the city and I was working as far as being like a personal assistant.
Okay.
So I almost want to say like a Girl Friday was
Okay.
the thing to do in the 90s. when you obtained your business degree and then you said, well, I really want to roll my sleeves up and let's get into the nuts and bolts of what's happening, what's going on. So I did work with a couple private families, traveled with them, went with their estates, worked with a lot of their private individuals, their chefs, their nannies, their tutors. I was a professional au pair at the time.
Okay.
And then just evolved right back into real estate, pulled me back home is really what it did.
Yeah. And just to be clear, when you say the city, so I mean, we're closest to Philadelphia where we live full time, and we're our escape is obviously at the lake. When you say the city, I assume that you're talking about New York City.
Well, it was a suburb of New York, so just on the outskirts. And whether we were traveling up to Connecticut or we would go up into Maine or we would travel down
Okay.
into South Carolina. But where the homes and the residents were, that's where I was traveling with it with a private family.
Okay. So kind of just rounding out a little bit about, being a realtor, and you certainly have a great reputation. We've seen it. We know you. What, if you can share with people out there that are looking maybe to buy a home and pick a realtor, what makes a good realtor in your eyes?
I like that they actually listen. They listen to what the family is looking for. I like when you're actually going from neighborhood to neighborhood and you're helping the families discover what exactly they want to achieve. What type of lifestyle do they want to have? Now, originally when we started, we had cabins, we had cottages, and then the luxury lifestyle started evolving in the last 15 years. We've always had some type of luxury home or status. I am a luxury home specialist. And then the cabins and the estates that were starting to be developed around. So it's that type of listening, tuning in, and then actually giving straight information. I don't like to be fluffing people's feathers just to say, hey, I want you to buy. No, that's not the purpose. The purpose is, do you feel comfortable? Does it meet your needs? Are you looking to grow?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just chill, relax?
Trevor, I have a follow-up. Do you have anything that you want to throw out there? I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, all good. I mean, I was going to ask Debbie how the market's been. I know I've heard stories about, the prices houses are going up for around Lake Wallenpaupack. So I have to imagine it's been hot as of late. Is that true?
It's hot, but it's beyond hot. It's almost to the point of exasperation. You're almost to frustration point.
Yeah.
I've been through several market changeovers. I've been through the horrible 9/11 changeover. And then all of a sudden, when we had this meltdown with the financial industry, that took many years to adjust and kind of find your footings to help the families. Right now, this is the most challenging adjustment, is what I'm going to say. When you're trying to find a home, and we're just having an awful lot of ready, willing, and able, capable families that want to be here, and it's trying to meet their expectations and their needs.
Yeah.
I think this is the most challenging part. Yes, you're absolutely right. The values have definitely, I think they're setting a new floor. I think we're going to start seeing a lot new type of price points starting. Where you used to be able to say, oh, we can find a $150,000 house or we can find a $200,000 house. I think those price points are going to be a little bit more challenging now for certain families.
Yeah,
But
and
I
a
want
lot.
to, hopefully it'll come back around again.
And those are, you would characterize those probably, is it fair to say like kind of an entry level now? Like if you're going to spend $200,000, that you're going to be maybe a few tiers away from the lake, but still have maybe some of the amenities around the lake. But um, it's not like you're getting a mansion on the water for $200,000. As I know those properties are into the millions now.
You might be a couple miles away from the lake. The beauty part about Lake Wallenpaupack is that there are public access areas. So you can be 4, 5, 6, 10 miles away from the lake. You just come down to where the access areas are so that you can obtain and do your own enjoyment.
Okay. Um, that's great. I mean, I think you've addressed, kind of it sounds like, again, that this is more of a supply and demand. Is that, can you pinpoint one thing that's driving up those prices so dramatically? People's desire to get out of the big cities, or to have that
I
opportunity to relax like you and your family did way back when?
it's what I've noticed is a total different shift in lifestyle. Thanks to modern technology, thanks to a lot of information that's flowing in and out, a lot of the upgraded DSL lines that are starting to hopefully come through a lot of the areas, what we're seeing is the cabins coming into a lot more rebuilding, remodeling, additions, adding on a couple more square footage, saying, all right, I love the main living square footage, but now let's take it to the next stage with a couple other family members coming on board, saying we're going to be here a lot, occupying a couple more weeks at a time. So it's kind of interesting to watch the evolution of the one room cabin that has turned into, and if you want, I have a couple pictures for you if it makes it a little more visual for those that need it. But yeah, I can share some pictures with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, have you done that? Because you're probably due to write another article and get it up on the website. Um,
Oh, you
Under
are
our lake
so good
views.
at that, aren't you?
hey,
I,
we use that content. It's very valuable. People enjoy reading about, other people's experiences and seeing those pictures. So that's great. I'm sorry, Trevor, what were you going to say? I keep disappearing.
I was actually going to ask Debbie. I know it's obvious to say that 2020 was a year for the history books, right? One of the worst years that anybody can really remember. But I imagine as a realtor, you've seen probably an influx in the amount. I'm sure the ratio of people who are permanent residents around the lake area to just vacationers has shifted, especially with the COVID-19 situation. I know, Ed, I think for a large chunk of last year, you spent a lot of time working from home at the lake house.
Thank goodness
And
for
that was your
that too.
primary residence for what, a couple months, it seemed.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was
it's,
it was a big
there's
deal.
certainly, you can certainly justify why those smaller cabins are turning into bigger desires,
well,
right?
absolutely. Trevor, the building industry is definitely on fire too. So that's definitely been an asset as far as, because we need more skilled carpenters, we need more skilled plumbers, we need more skilled individuals to come forward with the building industry, because they're on a backlog. They're actually on a wait list now. So
Yeah.
yes, there were plenty of families that did come forward saying, all of a sudden the spotlight found us. We were this, I don't want to say a hidden little secret, but it was word of mouth. That's how a lot of the, hey, where are you going for the weekend? What's happening? Oh, we're going to the Hamptons. Oh, well, we're going to Lake Wallenpaupack. Where's that? So we used to have to say, well, my family used to say Lake Wallen 6-pack. And we say 6-pack. What are you talking about? 6? There was not a lot of stores around the lake area. The whole thing was we would pack up the station wagon, your food, everything you needed. There was no washing machines. These homes didn't have any of that. Once you arrived at the lake, you unload whatever you carried, that's what you brought in. So first of all, Dad had to make sure there was at least 6 cases of beer coming up. And then you had the rest of the snacks and the food and the beef and everything else that came with it. I think we lived on hamburgers and hot dogs for most of the weekends.
Listen,
And
that's
beer.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean that's the way to go right there. It sounds like my kind of weekend. I'm ready. Sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So Debbie, I think we have about 4 more really quick questions. So and these typically are a little more fun, but and more about you and your own experiences, obviously. But can you share just like a fun memory? And you've done that a lot already, but is there one particular memory maybe that you could share with us
Sure.
about the lake?
You want to see what fishing was like?
You can show us, tell
Sure.
us, whatever you'd like to do.
This is what, let's see if you can see it. This is what the cabins look like.
We
This
see
is
it.
Ledgedale, 1945, 47. These
Wow.
were the tents. That's my mother and my uncle. Those were the
Oh,
tents that were constructed for the whole summer.
oh my
And
gosh.
they couldn't be permanent. They had to come down. Then once we took them down, now we can show you the evolution of what happened at the next, when, there's my grandfather, there's his big fish.
Oh, I do. Yeah. If you back it away just a little bit,
There you
Trevor,
go.
what are you seeing right there? Is that a walleye?
There looks like a walleye.
And those are the cabins that they started building on piers. So they would take the beer bottles, roll the beer bottles across the floor with the car jack to level it off. And then that's how they started.
It's very
Hey.
scientific.
The wall and six pack.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I bet you honestly, those things were more level than about 90% of the buildings today too, because that's just the way things were done.
Well, we're going to keep it PG. So we're not going to talk about the little, rolling over. That's what Ledgedale looked like.
Now, when this is Ledgedale, would you say like this is where kind of the Ledgedale boat launches, where the river
That's exactly
enters?
where it is.
Yeah.
My family had their cabin when you go down to the boat launch and you look to the right on the shoreline, that's exactly what this shoreline is.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's still, it's beautiful then, it's still beautiful now.
And that's what they look like when they went fishing.
Wow.
The little skips.
Yep. And nobody fell in, right?
That's another story.
It'd be nice to catch a striper on that little boat. That'd be fun.
Yeah, 20-pounder, huh? Just be pulling the boat
I'm
around.
gonna let you decide. That's what they bring home.
Yeah,
Wow.
that looks like maybe a large. I don't know. That one's a little
The
tougher to
largemouth
tell.
bass. Then they had
Yeah.
the stripers. There was a lot of channel fish, but this is what we would do. This is what we would do as the neighborhood with us getting together in the 70s. There's the fish fries that would happen.
Oh yeah. And they're still happening today. They're just a lot more quiet about where and when they're happening.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's my fish story for you.
That's pretty good. No, I think that's a great story. I thank you so much for sharing that and those pictures. I mean, it's amazing to see, somebody that spent, such a long time kind of, seeing it, living it, enjoying it, experiencing it. I have to be honest, I came as a young boy with my family. We rented a house and I always loved it, but it took me about 37 years to get back. So, and now that I'm back, I don't ever want to go anywhere else. So I can appreciate why, you came back and, why you have such fond memories of your youth and childhood and even, more recently. Okay. So do you have a boat?
Yes.
You do?
Can't live without a boat.
All right. Cough it up.
Absolutely.
We want to hear about it.
Oh, it's a pontoon boat.
Okay.
It's got more done. It's been welded more times. My uncle swears I hit every single log there is in a lake.
Okay.
Yes,
It's possible out there for sure. As long as you're not dragging it across the rocks. I mean, a tree stump here, a little log there is not going to be too bad.
You ever sit on the shoreline and you watch the boats go by and you're going, no, don't go that channel. No.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen it and we've heard the stories. And I mean, I have a pontoon boat too, so I'm with you right there. I think they're the greatest boats there are right now for just pure entertainment and relaxation. So let's see. I think we covered some memories. I think we talked a little bit about fishing. We asked you about your boat. Anything else? Any maybe other funny stories? I mean, you've made me laugh several times already. So anything else that you want to share?
You want to know where casino came from? Where people are playing where all that started?
It started. I mean, I'm ready.
Vegas might have had a good handle on it, but I think it really got a hook up here at the Poconos because you got to have the old Pocono trays, the Michigan rum. This is the original.
Holy cow.
That's it. The
Michigan rummy.
That's it. So between the beer bottles and the poker and absolutely.
There was fishing, there was drinking, there was
Pocono,
gambling.
baby. That was
We-
it.
Let's
That
just
was the whole
stop there
of it.
before we get ourselves into trouble then.
So what it sounds like is things have come a long way in terms of buildings, but certainly not in the way that we're behaving around the lake area. Those things
No,
are
I
still
think
happening.
we're very well respected and tame. I think we're doing really good. We don't have any crazy music.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen anybody flying some flags that they should or shouldn't and dancing in skimpy bikinis. I haven't seen any of those things happening on the lake.
No, unfortunately, it's all about the fishing and the tow sharks and watching jumping off the docks. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. And Debbie, thank you so much. Really, I personally appreciate it. I hope our audience appreciates the discussion and some of the things you shared. And we're excited about kind of executing this approach and giving people a lot of different perspectives from around the lake. I think it's just going to be fun content that people can get into. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate all you do for us and all you do for the people around the lake. So thank you from me. I appreciate and thank you from us. I mean, WallyBITES really appreciates your, support as well.
I think you guys are great, and I love the tournaments. Yay, tournaments!
We have one April 10th coming up, so we're pretty excited about it.
Holy, that's right around the corner.
Yeah,
Right around the
We got to
corner.
get the ice off the lake.
it next week, I think it's going to start breaking
We're all
through.
going to be walking out with hair dryers.
Let's hope not. I mean, it was a great winter for ice. But it's time now. I think there's a lot of people that are ready for, spring like weather. Next week here in, a little bit south of where you are, we're supposed to hit 60s next week. So that we're excited about it.
Oh, that's a happy girl dance.
Cool.
That
Trevor,
makes showing real estate fun.
any final words, Trevor? Go.
I mean, I'll probably be in touch in the near future because we don't own a house at the lake yet. I've been freeloading off of my friend here, Ed, with a family of six.
Six.
So,
Trevor, it only seems like 20 when you come. It's not that big of a deal.
So I'll be keeping my eyes on the market around the lake area in the coming years. That's for sure.
Nice.
Ed, it sounds like you're going to get a wing added on.
Well, listen, that's okay. We'll just go a third story up if the township lets us. I mean, we're good with that.
Absolutely.
No, I would love for Trevor to move into our neighborhood. We live in Briar Hill, and I think it's it's just a great little community there. So there's some properties and some lots, Trevor, that I'm sure Debbie can help you find.
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes out.
All right. Well, listen, thanks so much. We want to try to keep it down to under 30. I think we've accomplished that. Debbie, I wish you well. Stay safe. I hope that 2021 is a very fruitful and successful year for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you.
Be well.
See you guys.